Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, Immortal Hulk, issue number 38. Cool stuff happens in this book. I enjoyed it. Boom. Let's get talking about who made the comic book. We'll go a little bit more into detail about the book. So we got Not Just a God. Actually, not really the case. There's a comma in there. Not just, not God. Not bad. I like this. So Al Ewing is the writer, and Joe Bennett is on pencils. Roy Jose and Bellardino Bravo on inks. Colorist Paul Mounts and VC's Corey Petit doing the letters. Alex Ross does the cover, and Mike Del Mundo with Bennett, Jose, and Mounts doing the variant cover. Stanley and Jack Kirby, of course, created the original Hulk. So the leader is in charge, and it turns out that he's in 3 different places at one time. At the very least, he points out that he's doing this through 3 different doors. So in the Immortal She-Hulk book, just for reference, we see that the leader himself physically is present right next to where the green door is supposed to appear, in hell, the place below all. And what happens he sends her back. He says, if you ever come back here again, I'm going to kill you, basically. Like, you're done. Well, in the meantime, he's there. That seems to be the main place where he's at. But he's going through different doors, and he's sending one part of his consciousness in Banner's mindscape, one part over here where the doctor is at, and where Doc Samson is at also. And I think there were actually 2 parts of him there. Anyway, yeah, because he's got the Rick Jones body, and he's got the freaky thing body, and he's, again, taking over I believe he's taking over the Gladiator Hulk body. I say I believe because just because he's taking that shape doesn't necessarily mean that he's taking that body. So, World Breaker, freaky, but it gets worse. We're really focusing just a little bit in the beginning on the Devil Hulk. This is the, holy crap, the one that's really bad. And it's funny that in the beginning, we're led to believe that that Devil Hulk is talking about Banner and the big guy. Later on, you realize what he actually meant by that, which was actually kind of cool. Now, some other things happening here besides the crazy stuff that we're regularly going to see by reading this book, which is just insane, and I freaking love it. By the way, not a whole lot of action in here. There's just enough to keep you entertained. It's the story. This is a deep story. No, instead, the coolest part to me is, especially if you're a fan of the Gray Hulk. This is where I'm going to get into some finer details of the comic. So I've already told you it's a good comic. I already told you good stuff. If you're satisfied with that, feel free to leave, because this next part might possibly be construed as a spoiler. You've been warned. So Joe Fixit is chained to a pillar on one side with Banner on the other side. And this is when they both realize that the leader is actually down here. He's like, how did you invade my mind? What the frick? How did you do this? How did you get so deep into my mind? The mindscape, so to speak. Joe Fixit is, whisper yelling to Banner, stop preventing me from getting big, from going Hulk. You know what I'm saying? Stop keeping me puny. He's like, Joe, I don't have that kind of control over you. I simply don't have that kind of control down here. Maybe that's true. Fixit talks about how the alternative is far worse. Meaning what? Something else is preventing him? Is Joe preventing him? Who knows? We're going to find out. And it's going to be sexy when it happens. Listen, for the longest time, I've been, ever since we first saw Joe Fixit just being this swindly little guy, you know what I'm saying? I'm sitting here the entire time thinking to myself, dude, why does Ewing hate Gray Hulk so much? You figure he'd love this character, right? Everything about what he's doing in this book makes me think he would love freaking Joe Fixit. Now I'm starting to think something else entirely. He's saving him. He's saving Gray Hulk for something special. I'm wondering, there's the green door. There's a reason why we haven't seen Ross. Not really. But we've also seen the red door. Now, again, maybe this is just me misinterpreting things, whatever, bang, bang, bang. but we saw a red door. That was the color red, all right? Unless Paul Mount screwed up, that was the color red. And we also see the green door. But is there a gray door? Is that something else entirely? Wow. I don't know where this is going, but I do know that I love seeing this journey to get there. This is one of the most thoughtful books on the market right now. And it's so funny because, people in general, when you think about psychology, people who aren't always in control of their emotions, people who do get emotionally outraged, people who do get angry easy, or just get angry and they get to an ugly place when they're angry. It's right away a turnoff. It's right, if you feel safe around this person for whatever reason, then, you're just thinking this is a turnoff. I can't stand this person. This person is beneath me, whatever. People think things like that. If you are afraid of this person, it's like, oh my God, this person's danger, lock this person up. We always consider this, and we don't usually want to go back to the idea that this is actually a form of a mental illness. It's not too different from the idea of someone who's dealing with any other mental condition where you'd have to go to a therapist for. Where anger, however, is one of those few things that we like to say, oh, just this person needs to be locked up. This person is a public threat. This person needs to be taken away. We just want this person gone. We don't want to help these people. We just want them gone. It's a stigma in the psychological profession. It's funny. It's not very different from the stigma of the psychological profession, or having to admit that you have some kind of a mental block, some kind of a deficiency, even a medical problem with your whatever psychological a psychological condition. That's actually what I'm looking for. My mind is racing right now. So seeing this and seeing the way that it's all being handled, seeing the way that the rage is actually handled in this issue in particular is impressive. The amount of rage, the anger, the Devil Hulk stuff that happens in here, plus combining this with the idea that at 3 years old, Banner was reading Paradise Lost. The diaspora between heaven and hell. The idea that a just God cannot hurt you because it defies the idea of what just is. Banner has never wanted to deal with Brian, with his father. He's never wanted to deal with him. And yet, what's the thing that happens in here? What's the threat that the leader tries to give before all of a sudden that stuff happens? It's the threat that I'm taking you to your father now. I still don't know what the leader's full intentions are. If he wanted to kill Banner, he could just kill Banner at this point. There's something else happening here. I'm wondering if maybe he's not such a bad guy after all in this particular moment. I don't know. Maybe this is just me. But we're seeing some things develop here. We're seeing the psyche, not even just id, super ego, the ego. No. We're actually seeing anger having some form of not just an outlet, but where some of those stipends come from for our anger. And the judgment that a lot of people have to those who not only have mental illnesses, but who actually experience anger in what seems to be an uncontrollable way. It's not actually uncontrollable. You just simply have to know how to control it. Anyway, this was, as usual, an amazing issue. This is so in-depth. This is incredible. The Incredible Hulk. Anyway, guys, definitely check this out. Talk to you later. Watch an ad, like the video. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.